summer camp continues. Up next, Mandy Rose with Crankin Engines Camp. Good morning, Mandy. Thanks for being here.
Well, good morning, Jeffrey, and thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, now, I'm not a mechanically inclined guy. I kind of hold the screwdriver and pass it to somebody who's better with me. But there are a lot of kids who don't have this skill set but are ultimately curious. And isn't that what Crankin Engine Camp is really all about?
Absolutely. In Crankin Engines Camp, you would be perfect because we assume that you know absolutely nothing from the get-go. And then we teach you everything you know to be able to rebuild and crank an engine by the time you get done.
Well, I got the don't know nothing get down part. I got that, girl. That's all covered. Now, MechaniChics, that's your group, and y'all have put these camps together. Tell me how this all works.
Well, actually, MechaniChics is my company, and I'm a small engine mobile repair mechanic. And Crankin Engines is actually a curriculum that was created by Rankin Barnes, and he sells that separately. But when I met him at the homeschool convention in 2014, I walked by his booth and said, "You stole my idea." And we started talking, and eventually I started teaching these in a summer camp format with his blessing. And it's an absolute joy to teach. I usually have a host that contacts us and says, "Hey, I'd love to have a camp." And they provide a space for us to set up. It's just for 2 6-foot tables, and I supply everything else. I usually have about 12 students in class, and what they get to do is take the engine in 3 days' time, usually 4 hours a day, take it all the way down, rebuild it, and then on the last day, they get to do it themselves and then crank it at the end.
I tell you, Christian Snyder and Jeffrey Griffin collectively, we would fail because I have no faith that you and I could do this. We're just going to think this is our gift. This is why we should sign up for the camp, Christian. Mandy could teach us how to do it, right?
Yes,
absolutely.
Please.
I actually teach women's classes and men's classes as well. It's not just for kids.
Well, we're remedial, so we might need some special one-on-one efforts. But nonetheless, now, Mandy, where do all these camps take place, and how do people go about signing up?
Well, the camps take place wherever there's a host. So I actually work all across the Eastern Seaboard. A lot of it, of course, is local here in the Triad, but I have camps in Summerfield that are still have a few places open. I have one in Elkin that has a couple of places open, but the ones as far as Williamsburg, Virginia, Charlotte, Georgia, those are all full for this year.
All right.
So you can take them anywhere as long as I've got a space to set up.
Folks, I need somebody to set up one of these camps here in the Triad. I want to go. Now, is this restricted by ages?
For the kids' camps, I have 2 major classes of groups. I have the Little Cranks class, I call it, is for the 5 to 10-year-olds. And that's because I really want parents there to help them, with behavior control mostly. Because, 12 kindergartners jumping around is not something that I can necessarily handle all at once. So the parents get to be immersive with their kids. It's a great bonding experience, and they get to do it together for the 5 to 10-year-olds. And then I have a different class, which is the 11 and up class. And I go 11 to 20 usually because there are some guys that are like, I've had all of these credit classes I've had to take in high school, and this is something that I would definitely want to take, but I'm technically a little too old. I'm like, nope, you're never too old to learn engines. It's just not a thing. So the 11 and up crowd doesn't have to have parent participation, and they get to come, you drop them off, and we have a blast for 12 hours.
I may sign up. I'm just not going to tell Mandy that I'm 50. What year is this? 25? I'm 54. I'm not going to tell her I'm 54. I'm just going to sign up. Then when I show up, you're not going to turn me away. Once I'm there, she's not going to send me home. As long as I behave, I'm going to Crankin Engine Camp. Right?
Parents are totally free along with their kiddos. So you should sign the kiddos up, and then you can come, and then you get to be there free of charge anyway.
But see, I don't need the pressure. I don't need the pressure of my son going, and Dad, I don't think that's right. I just need to be allowed to make my own mistakes and then figure it all out. So, Mandy, now what is the best way? Is it to register through the website or to find out about camp locations and get details about the whole program?
My website does have everything included. It's MechaniChics.com. And that usually trips people up on the spelling because everybody forgets how to spell mechanic. So I'll spell it out really slow. MechaniChics.com. I smashed the C in the middle. It's shared between the 2 words, so it's MechaniChics, right? So MechaniChics.com, you just click on Crankin Engines. Crankin Engines is a prerequisite for my auto upkeep class and my applied automotive class as well.
I'm so glad that Mandy has come into my life. Now, I'm serious. And I talk about this, how things in life come full circle. I'm serious. And Mandy didn't know this at all. But my mother, for years, when she would get a car repair done, like you go to Goodyear or Firestone, something like that, right? And she would go out there and stand in the bay with those mechanics telling her, ma'am, you can't be out here. And she'd go, okay. And then she would refuse to leave. She'd stay there because she wanted to watch them repair her car. Now, when I was grown, for years, my mother said, Jeffrey, I want us to go to Forsyth Tech and take an automotive repair class. Well, I just rebuffed that and pushed it off. No, Mother, we're not doing that. So finally, we met in middle ground. We took a wallpapering class. And just for the record, if anybody needs wallpapering done, I'm your guy. I can wallpaper I'm a big dog. Well, I can do it. I know how. But, there have been many times, Mandy, since then, and now that my mom's passed away and I'm a grown up and all that, I go, Jeffrey, that was really foolish. You should have taken the automotive class with Mom. That would have been a great memory and a skill set that I need and would be very helpful. And now, see, Mandy has appeared in my life with Crankin Engines Camp, and I can get on with this whole mechanical, this void in my skill set, and you can help me take these classes and get me on my way. And after all these years, I can play catch up and get back to where I should have been the whole time, right?
Absolutely. I would definitely encourage you to do that. The best part about Crankin Engines is that we don't just do mechanics. The kids learn, and the adults learn as well, how it integrates with biology and physics and chemistry and everything else. It's completely integrative, and it's fabulous.
Mandy went all mom teacher mode on us right there. Hey, sign up, MechaniChics.com. MechaniChics. Just one C in the middle. Mandy, thanks so much for the visit. We'll see you at Crankin Engine Camp soon, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a great day.
You as well. We'll be back with more News Talk Sports for the Triad, WSJS.